All right, Sean, what did you think of Monster Trucks?
Monster trucks. Oh, I didn't see that movie. I'm gonna duck out.
Wait, so you're leaving me all alone?
Yep.
Sean! Sean! What's up, guys? John here, and today I'm doing a solo review, first one on the channel, I believe, that isn't done by Sean, so that's kind of an honor. And today we're going to be reviewing Monster Trucks, the new Nickelodeon movie directed by Wedge, the same guy who directed the first Ice Age movie, and stars Lucas Till and Jane Levy, the two main characters in a story that is very weird, but as it is a Nickelodeon movie, it's appealing to a child or kind of a younger audience. That said, I didn't enjoy it as much as maybe my younger brothers might, but there are still some good things, and as in a kid's movie, there are also some bad things to note. So getting right down to performances, Lucas Till plays a teenage kid in North Dakota, Trip, and he is just looking to get out of town. Like, he doesn't like where he is right now. His dad left his mom and him early on. He doesn't like who appears to be his stepdad. Not really specified if he's a stepdad or just mom's new boyfriend, but not really a fan of his living situation. And he works at a junkyard where he smashes cars for fun, and he finds a truck that he wants to turn into his monster truck. So Lucas is building this monster truck, and coincidentally there's actually a monster inside of the truck. And the way this kind of all happens is in an oil dig in the North Dakota oil fields. They were drilling and they found a pocket of water, and right away in the beginning of the movie, the monsters kind of get released from this pocket of water as they've been living thousands of feet underneath the Earth's crust. And the CGI and the monsters, it wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. But through a series of events, Lucas's character ends up encountering a monster that's been hidden in a truck that was smashed in the oil rig incident. So after befriending the monster and saving it, they kind of go on this kind of adventure to create a literal monster truck. Not like the ones like Gravedigger that are huge and destroy things, but rather that there's a monster powering the truck. So there's no engine in the truck, and this monster kind of takes the place. And they kind of go on a couple of wacky adventures, get involved with Jan Levy, his love interest. And ultimately, as with any Nickelodeon movie, there's going to be some action, and there's going to be a very predictable resolution. So Lucas and Jane's performances, they were fair. I mean, Lucas, you might remember him from some X-Men movies or the Hannah Montana movie. Not a personal favorite of mine, but nevertheless. Creech is the monster that Lucas interacts with, and Creech doesn't really have a voice actor, as he kind of just like moans and grunts and whatnot. But the three of them essentially are trying to get Creech back home because his family is in danger because of the oil company that are trying to dig for oil. Now, with the plot for this movie, it was in a pretty decent 3-act format, with the first one being very slow. I found myself kind of drifting off a little bit right away. With the exposition, it was interesting to set up and see how the monster kind of came to be from the Earth. But after that, it was a really slow burn for about 15 minutes until we see Lucas and the monster kind of interact for the first time. And after that, the second act and third act were a lot more appealing, as you got to see Lucas building his truck and like working with the monster, and then the eventual kind of like chase scene later on and eventual resolution of the movie. I don't feel too bad kind of telling that there's a good resolution at the end, because it's meant for children, and it's kind of wrapped up with a nice little bow starting at about 30 minutes in the movie. You know exactly what's going to happen. There's going to be a conflict, and there's going to be a resolution. So that said, I didn't like that a lot as someone who's not a kid, but there were a lot of children in the audience with me, and they were all kind of like, whoa, and they were like catching on to things as well. And it was like, that said, it was made really well for children, but for me, it wasn't quite as enjoyable. There were some good moments. There were some heartwarming moments where Lucas and his stepfather end up getting along in the end of the story, and they're kind of wrap up any sort of end that they could. There's no really conflict that doesn't go finished. Everything is kind of put together at the end, and it's very predictable from early on, as I had said earlier. So that's kind of all I have for Monster Trucks. It wasn't a great movie, but I think it serves a really good purpose as like a kid's movie that you would take your children to on a Saturday afternoon. So I think that's going to be it for me. My final review is going to come in at a 6.8, which is a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Sean and I were talking, and we thought it was going to be really, really bad. And actually, after doing some reading, it was supposed to be released in like early 2015. So almost 2 years later, the movie finally comes out. And I think it delivers as a children's movie, but doesn't necessarily deliver as anything that's going to win any sort of award or do well otherwise. So that 6.8 is pretty much me saying that it's a children's movie, not as much as it is like film-wise. If I had to rate it like on an actual film scale, it might come lower, kind of at like a 5.8 instead. But I do think that it serves its purpose as a children's movie.
Let's go!
So that was my review for Monster Trucks. Thank you all so much for tuning in to my first review. Be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.
Hey guys, great review, John. Attaboy. Guys, make sure you leave this video with a comment and a like. What did you think of Monster Trucks? Kind of glad I didn't see it, but also kind of sad I missed it. But yeah, John, thanks so much for doing this review since I was not able to. Send it off.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day.